I hope everyone is having a great day wherever they are in this wonderful world. Today we will be talking about XRP, and I have to start with this from Cointelegraph. It appears that the IMF is now prepared to move forward and actually begin using crypto and digital assets. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel as always. This is Rich doing another video on XRP. New financial services products and digital assets that can be used as a store of value or as a method of payment have emerged as a result of digitalization of the financial system. These are known as XRP and XLM. You can see high-value stablecoins here, as well as on exchanges and DT platforms. The Ripple IBM. We don't really know how soon this will happen, but this is where they let you know what's coming before it happens. The WorldWire Central Stablecoin Network finally seems to be coming together. A.R. Scott Bessent, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, affirms, "Listen to this. President Trump surprised me in the Oval the other day when he announced the Sovereign Wealth Fund. He said, 'Could you make a few remarks?' I responded, 'Well, we're going to mobilize the asset side of the balance sheet, and we're going to mob.' All the gold books stated that he would revalue the gold. So I can say that today we're not revaluing the gold because they're not revaluing the gold yet, because they're still buying up a huge amount of gold. You don't come out and say, 'Hey, we're going to revalue gold if you're still a buyer of gold.' This will occur later. The B and Ripple JP Morgan HSBC, the B Bank for International Settlements, and Ripple are working with Tier 1 banks, which are the biggest and most reliable financial institutions in the world. If XRP is categorized as a Tier 1 asset, it would be regarded as an asset of the highest caliber by international banking standards, comparable to gold. This would suggest that XRP is regarded as being extremely safe and liquid, which banks can use to strengthen their balance sheets, just like gold. According to Michael Branch of the Operational Money Channel, the ECB World Economic Forum has been warning us about the impending arrival of a new digital financial system for years, and it appears that things are finally beginning to come together. Together, TU and DCL provide millions of African shoppers with access to reasonably priced, high-quality goods. Latin America and Asia. Since DCAL is also an ODL customer, this is just another use case for XRP. It's time to take off the mask of who Crypto Reserve is and be honest. DCAL is a Ripple partner, and while I'm not sure about the quality of their products, they are unquestionably reasonably priced. It's good to see growth occurring here as well. They continue by stating that there was a reason why XLM was excluded from the Crypto Reserve, and then they discuss how Stellar is doing. Ripple off the MA ripping mask explains why XLM was purposefully left out. Transaction efficiency of XLM connected to ISO CBDC's banking system integration. The difference between XRP and XLM is not that great. I've always advised you to hold both of these cryptocurrencies because it's like double dipping on your investment. I'm not sure why Stellar wasn't there either, but I believe Brad was because Brad has been battling the SEC and has been vetted through the SEC versus Ripple case. Additionally, it seems like Ripple always sets the example for others to follow. Do I think there will be an XLM cryptocurrency stockpile or reserve at some point because the government is also going to diversify? I believe people are making snap judgments about this. Trump's SEC crypto task team benefits from the XRP experience provided by Deli Ventures. The findings are based on calculating the aggregate incremental value of XRP required to supply the value of transactions its network facilitates, assuming adoption of Ripple continues to grow at a relatively rapid pace. I meant to mention this last week. They say we approached XRP with more of a utility token framework and calculate long-term potential network value using the incremental value add XRP off offers over other Ripple products. The global cross-border payments market was worth $155 trillion in 2018, growing at a rate of 4% per year to reach $230 trillion in 2012. Ripple has been expanding at an extremely concerning rate, and Delhi Digital now realizes what I've been seeing all along. For the eighth reason, we use a curve to project Ripple's market share over the next 10 years. This assumes that Ripple can take 80% of the global cross-border payments industry in that time. Is it conceivable that this will take 10 years? In order to maintain the momentum, Ripple plans to make further acquisitions this year, many of which will be businesses connected to remittances in some of these unbanked nations. Although I want to give it more time, I believe it will happen in the next 2 to 3 years because we are that close, if not closer. Watch Gurus' hack was only a front. They fired without getting high-level consent, and the warning indicators were present all along. As the future of payments develops, banks like Unicredit, Westpac, and RBC are joining Ripple XRP to replace SWIFT's antiquated system. They claim that SWIFT's post was launched and that it was swiftly covered up, but the banks have been using Ripple for a long time, and I believe that many of these banks want to switch from SWIFT because they already see the benefits of using it. The only reason it's slower than SWIFT, in my opinion, is because you have to fly the money around the world on a private plane. SWIFT is also not modernizing in any way, which needs to happen sooner. The B even stated that if SWIFT keeps dragging their price, they would move forward without SWIFT. They don't care because the digital era has here and things are changing quickly. So you have to stay up or fall behind. The importance of RLUSD and stablecoins' $230 billion growth story. So right now there's a lot of growth for RLUSD, and I always stress to you, none of that value is showing up in XRP, yet it is still coming. How soon it going to happen? I think it's happen in 202 for sure. Most likely we will start to see value come from RLUSD sometime after they pass stablecoin regulations. I think that's going to be the game. Share BRICS represents common concerns, not dollar undermining. Here's what I think is going on with the BRICS, I think, and the United States have been working together in the background because what's going on? We're pushing into the digital age. Everybody wants real-time payments. They want fast, cheap, and secure. I think the new financial system is coming. And I think the BRICS accelerate. They accelerate, and then the US has to accelerate, so they're pushing everything even faster. And I think that's what's really going on. They're working together to get this done quicker. That's what I see happening, and again, XRP Health Care is absolutely crushing it. Just in case you missed XRP Healthcare, AI has taken digital health to the next level with launch of medical image analysis. Real-time insights, AI-powered precision, a major advancement in our vision for global tech-enabled healthcare. Once they start expanding out, I'm expecting XRP Health Care's token to rise with that expansion, and I do not get paid to talk about XRP Healthcare. You all know that I am very transparent with all of you. If I was getting paid, would let you know. The reason I'm pointing this out is because XRP Healthcare is still very cheap. I buy it on Amex, but if you're in the United States, you have to a VPN and a Pala ID. If you're interested in getting XRP Healthcare, I would search it up and see which exchanges offer it in the United States. But in this video, I wanted to definitely point out that the IMF, they look like they're ready to start going forward with digital assets, and most likely XRP and XLM, because that was their plan from way back in like 2017, 2018. And it looks like the time is finally coming, and they're also pushing full steam ahead. That's why I said, I think we're very close. We're closer than we think. And for the same reason, most people are unaware of how significant this will truly be. You've seen Brad at the White House meeting between Ripple and Donald Trump, and I believe that even Ripple had a pivot for the United States, which is why RLUSD was initially created. I believe that everything in Washington will change overnight when they integrate XRP into the U.S. financial system and are prepared to go live, and then Donald Trump will make a significant announcement. However, I believe that what we're going to see first is a period of hardship. I believe that the recession is real, and that we will experience some hardship, and possibly higher inflation before Donald Trump announces that he has a solution, and that he will push forward with XRP and Ripple technology. That will probably be the tipping point, but that is just my theory based on everything I see happening right now. They are hyping up Bitcoin, and I believe that some of these big bag holders are getting a chance to sell off some of their Bitcoin as a last cash out before it crashes and the new system goes live, because there is no way the US government will ever use Bitcoin as a form of payment because it is far too slow, costly, and only uses energy. The strong push for artificial intelligence. Since Donald Trump claims that we are engaged in an AI war with China, why does AI need so much electricity? Anything that needs a lot of power must come from somewhere, like Bitcoin mining. In the long run, this is closer than we think to the new financial system, but until it does, stay patient, stay optimistic, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video and thank you all for watching.